Sagittarius, this is Tina with 85th House Vibrations, and welcome to your monthly general reading for February 2017. This reading is going to be true for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. And if you'd like to pull together a more complete picture of what might be going on with you for the month of February, you can feel free to check out your Moon and or Rising sign if you happen to know what that is. Again, I want to say that this is a general reading, so it won't resonate with everybody. I want to say thank you for those of you who might be returning. Thanks for coming back, checking me out again. And for those of you who, are tuning in for the first time, welcome. Glad to have you here. I will be using the planetary spread. And it is a spread that consists of, I had to stop that to cough. Anyway, the planetary spread will consist of a card for the two luminaries, which are the sun and the moon, and a card for each of the personal planets: Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn. I feel like I forgot one. Anyway, and then there's an outcome card. I am using the deck, the Tarot of Dreams by Ciro Marchetti. And the reason that there are already 3 cards out is because I had started this reading. I had to go reset my modem. I don't know what it is, but besides my own like blockages and energy over the past few days, because I gotta admit, I've been, really kind of wiped out. It's like I had to switch computers because I'm doing these videos on my PC, and this one that I'm on now initially wasn't working out right, and I switched to the other and that wasn't working out. I'm sorry. So then I went and reset the modem. We seem to be in business, but I'm back to the first one. Not that you cared, just thought I'd add that. But anyway, I'd already started laying out the cards, and I'd gotten these 3 out when I realized that, I needed to abandon ship and start the whole process over. But I didn't want to disturb the energies, so I didn't want to reshuffle or, I didn't want to lay out the cards again. And I wanted to say, Sagittarius, while I was shuffling your cards in the first video, I was getting 2 distinct messages, and one was, don't waste your words. I feel like don't waste your words on petty situations and petty people. And as the cards are laying out now, I think I see why you shouldn't waste words, and I'll get to that in a moment. The other thing is, I feel like some of you Sagittarius are looking at second marriages, and this may be only for a small portion of you. And as I was thinking about that, as that was coming to me, there's something that was saying, Sag, you may be looking at possibly getting married for a second time, some of you, but there is some reason to wait. Now, again, as these cards come out, just based on these 3, I'm not feeling like it's as a big a deal as to why you need to wait as I initially felt. These cards are kind of lightening up that energy for me. But that's what I got before I laid out the cards. Okay. So Sag, already we have a card that is here in the sun position, in the moon position, the Mercury position. Now I'm going to go ahead and pick a card for, this is the Venus position, and I'll turn these over as we get to them. That was, my whole point. But these popped out, actually, and I'd already laid them out. They popped out while I was shuffling. Okay, so we got the Venus position, the Mars position, Jupiter, Saturn, and the outcome. So, Sag, to start off with, I am feeling like that we've got the 4 of coins reversed in the sun position. And the sun position is going to talk about who you are this month, Sag. Your vitality, your success, what brings you joy. your status in the world. I think this even speaks to your level of magnetism and attraction, maybe to and from other people. So we've got the Four of Coins reversed, and I spoke earlier about some of you Sagittarius wanting to possibly get into a second marriage, and I forgot to mention that for some of you, it's not a second marriage. I think that some of you might be looking. I'm sorry, there's a glitter. Let me see if I can pull this in a little bit. Some of you may be looking to start some sort of business partnership with somebody, but I still feel like that there's a need to wait. And I think Sagittarius, reason being is because some of you right now don't have the money to actually do that, whether that is to start in a new relationship, possibly a new marriage, or whether it is not you, or whether or not it's you trying to possibly form some sort of business partnership with somebody, or maybe invest into somebody. I don't think that there's a problem with the partnership itself, at least not yet. I don't see that yet. I feel like it's more of a financial thing. Some of you Sagittarius may just not have the means to move in the way that you want to move yet. Let's just go ahead and move on for a second. In the moon position, which the moon talks about our personal life, it talks about our emotions, it talks about our personal relationships. This could talk about our dreams and the subconscious. This includes how you might feel about your mother, or the maternal figure in your life, the female energies in your life. We've got the Judgment card. Judgment card is ruled by the sign of Pluto. This is the final judgment. So, Sagittarius, I feel like some of you have decided possibly to end a previous relationship, and I'm thinking it's a marriage. I think that you've made a sound decision, and if you have some things going on legally, Sagittarius, where it comes to personal matters or personal relationships, this could be in business as well, because I did talk about personal relationships. And when you have a business partner, oftentimes that can be a personal relationship. It is a sort of personal relationship. Whether you all go bowling on the weekends or not, your business partner is wrapped up into your money. So yeah, I take that real personal. I can see this zooming in and out, and I'm sorry, I'm trying to keep that still. So, Sag, what I'm feeling like, though, is you've made some sound decisions. I think it is what it is. And anything that may be going on, like I said, legally, or maybe the way that you have come to a final judgment about a situation, I really feel like all of that works out in your favor. You're good there, Sagittarius. Even if you are financially strapped, even if you don't feel like on a tangible level you have all the things that you need, I feel like emotionally, personally, you're okay there. You've whatever you think or thought it was is what it is, and I think you've made appropriate decisions, and I really think, Sagittarius, that you have really taken the time to get to the truth of the matter, and I mean the deep, dark, down, and dirty truth about whatever the matter is. And that those final judgments are sound and secure, and they are based, in fact, on the truth. I think it's all good there. in the Mercury position, and the Mercury position can talk about work. It can talk about our short distance travels, our siblings. This is social media, advertisements, um, all things communication. You have the World card upright. I forgot to mention that the Judgment card is a major arcana, and so is the World card. You have those right on top of each other. So what I feel like, Sagittarius, is where it comes to how you think about things on a personal level. You know, the things that are on your mind, the way that you handle your personal relationships. I think you have come full circle. There have been many lessons learned, and I think you learned them well, whether or not that was comfortable or not. It may not have been very comfortable with this Four of Coins reversed, but Sagittarius, you've come to a place of completion for sure. Now, the other thing, too, is I feel like I said at the top of the reading that some of you Sagittarius, I was saying, don't waste words on petty situations or petty people. And I think it is because whatever your ideas and your thoughts and things that you're communicating about now, Sagittarius, it's for a bigger purpose. I think that you stand to change the game some sort of way by what you say. Your ideas are fit for a king right now. Your communications are fit for a king. They're fit, you know, for the collective. So wasting words and ideas and thoughts in exchange on petty situations and petty people, not so much. You got something bigger going on here. And I think it is because you become the authority on, you know, the way that you think about things, the way you process information. And it's due to the experiences that you've had throughout your life. On a more mundane level, I feel like some of you Sagittarius are, I feel like some of you may be having some speeches that might be coming up. You might be giving a talk at your local library. Some of you may just be spending some time getting some information from the library or maybe the internet in order for you to complete a particular cycle, and that could be within a marriage. Maybe some of you are looking to make sure that you have all of the right information as it pertains to maybe some legal situations that you may have coming up with a personal partner. But I do feel like some of you are maybe giving seminars, having talks at your local community center, you know, amongst people in your neighborhood, your day-to-day activity, like I said, at your local library. Some of you may be putting out some great information about truth online in social media. You know, this is, you know, where you're making those profound statements on Facebook and they affect, you know, everybody that you come into contact with. And I feel like those communications are in fact based on the truth and they're sound, and you know what you're talking about, Sag. So in the Venus position, you know, which talks about your money, it talks about, you know, who you're attracted to, the way you choose to receive love, the way that you prefer to receive love. It talks about your creative expression, what you find beautiful and comfortable. I'm sorry. Oh, we got the King of Wands upright, Sagittarius. I feel like you are looking at somebody. Oh, before we go there, and I'm sorry, we're just getting to the good part, but I do want to go back to this World card. Some of you at work, Sagittarius, have completed some projects. You know, something that was going on in the work sector of your life that you may have been working on for a while, and it's finally at its completion. And I think it's the bomb. You know, I think that whatever it is that you have been working on is all that and then some. It looks like you really did a good job at whatever it was. And the other thing is, I want to say, I feel like some of you Sagittarians, wherever it is that you have been employed, I feel like some of you may have been doing some training and you've completed that, and now you are moving into a particular position that you may have been obsessing over for a while, because I feel like for some of you Sagittarius that you had your eye on a particular spot, a particular position at work. And you've done all of these things, and you've done them in such an exemplar. I can't even talk. See, I'm not smart like you, Sage. Oh God, you've done them in such a great manner, because I can't even exemplary. I don't think is what I was trying to get out. Let me stick to words. Like, you did a good job, and so you now you can move into the position, the spot that you want to move into. That's what I get. Trying to look damn smart. It ain't working out. Anyway, so Sagittarius, back to the Venus position. We have got the King of Wands. So for some of you Sagittarians, where it comes to love and romance, I feel like you have your eye on Aries, Leo, or another Sagittarian. This is somebody who is larger than life to you, and they bring the spark to your life. I feel like they could be a little demanding and pushy, but like, they're of great spirit. They've got this great energy, this great stride. I mean, I think this is a person, Sag, when they are hard to trot to you. Now, for those of you in work who I said may have really, really done something, because this can also be, the energies that you're putting out, Sag. So for those of you who I feel like have completed some sort of project or something at work, like, I just think you did it to death. I mean, you put an amount of creativity and energy and effort into this that is going to be respected by all. I feel like some of you Sagittarians are like paving the way for something big. I think that just big things are going on with you Sagittarius this month. So this little Four of Coins right here, don't let this get you down. This lack of resources that you may be feeling like that, you're having issue with. As it pertains to the cards that we've pulled so far, it's a small thing to a giant. I feel like you could be getting a lot of praise about some work that you've put in on something, Sagittarius. So let's move on. Okay, let's not move on yet. I want to say, before we do move on, that we are currently in Venus retrograde season. Even though Venus won't retrograde until March next month, we are already in shadow, okay? So things around love and relationships and partnerships and how we make our money are really going to come into question. So I do want to put it out there, Sage, that with Venus retrograde, and some of you that have left relationships, you may be looking back at them and thinking, actually that person was pretty hot. Or remembering the passion and the good time and the high energy that you had when you were with this person. I just want to say, with Venus being in shadow and getting ready to go retrograde, be sure you know what you're looking at. Now, I think if it's somebody that you've already dealt with before and you get back with this person while Venus is in retrograde, they could come back simply so you all can deal with closure, or getting to the truth of a matter with this Judgment card. But I think going back, if somebody pops back up into your life, I'm not saying that it won't work. In this situation, I think sometimes it could work with somebody who might pop up if you clear the air, if you get to the truth of whatever the matter was that was between you. Now, if somebody new is coming along while we're in this retrograde season, then I want to say be careful with that, because while they may be hot to trot and looking like the king of everything, it may not be that. Once Venus starts to move forward again, you may find yourself feeling like this person was not all that great. Now, For some of you Sagittarius, like I said, who are, currently in a relationship or maybe dealing with somebody who may be coming back, we are, I forgot to mention, having a lunar eclipse in the sign of Leo. And I said that this King of Wands could be Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. So, Sag, I'm feeling like this is a good time, really. This is a good time with this person. And I think that this lunar eclipse is going to bring into focus where that passion, where that fire is. For those of you who may not have been feeling it all the way emotionally with a particular person, I think with this lunar eclipse in Leo, as it pertains to this King of Wands, in your case, Sagittarius, I think things can get really hot and heavy, and I think that in a good way. I really think that you could find yourself having a damn good time with this person. In the Mars position, and Mars talks about our hostility, it talks about aggression, it talks about our sexual passion, what it is that we put our energies into, the desires that we have. Now, oh gosh, okay, Okay, before I say that, I want to say, no, I'm not going to say that. Okay, we're going to move on because Venus is about to move into the sign of Aries as well. So I was about to talk about Venus being in the sign of Pisces, but no, we're going to move on because Venus is moving into the sign of Aries. So I'm kind of feeling like there's not a whole lot of reason to visit that Venus and Pisces situation right now. So anyway, okay. We've got the devil reversed in the Mars position. Okay, Sage. Sage, I do feel like whatever it is that you have been feeling like has kept you caged in. Oh, I'm sorry, you can't see that. I think that you really have the energy and the gusto and the hope and the drive and the desire to move forward, to break free from that. This is the third major arcana. If I hadn't said that, this is the third major arcana in this reading. So Sagittarius, you're dealing with some big stuff this month. And right now, it all looks positive. Even with this is the devil card, but being reversed, and with this particular devil card, as you can see, this is spirit above material. It's in the right position. We've got the 5-pointed star in the upright position. So that talks about heading towards the higher things, higher consciousness, higher spirit. This is about taking the high road, you know what I'm saying? The high or having high moral ground, or whatever it is, however you want to say that. I probably didn't say that right either. But this is about being able to free yourself from whatever it is that has held you down, or whatever it is that you felt like that you've had to rely on in order to get through in life. The devil card can talk about addictions to drugs, sex, rock and roll, whatever. And you just have what it takes to come out of that. Like, so far, this is all good. The only thing that I'm seeing right now, and like I said, this is a small thing to a giant, is that some of you just may not have the means, or you feel like you don't have the means. I don't even know if that's true. You may just be feeling as if there's some inadequacy or some limits, but I just don't right now. No limits, Sagittarius. No limits. Limitless. I'm feeling like you are right now. It's like you got the world in your hands, and you have got the fire and the drive and the creativity and the passion. Some of you actually have that even by your side to help support you through this. For some of you who may have been dealing with addictions, this is all good. I think you got to the truth of the matter, Sagittarius. For those of you, you know, you may have been addicted to gambling. Yeah, that's what's coming up to me for more than drugs or anything. Gambling is what just came up. So for some of you Sagittarius, I feel like you really are putting the end to a gambling problem. And like I said, it doesn't have to be that. This could be shopping. I feel like it's anything that's taken out of your bank account. Whatever it is that you may have been relying on, Sagittarius. And I mean, it could be a personal relationship. This could have been relying on somebody in the home. And now you can't rely on that person anymore. But you're good. You're good on your own. You got everything you need, whether you know it or not. Lord, I wouldn't be surprised to see the Nine of Pentacles comes up. If it does, I'm going to faint. But I just feel like you're headed towards everything you need. You've made wow. Sagittarius, you have really made some progress. That's what I'm thinking. So in the Jupiter position, Jupiter talks about good luck, expansion. I'm sorry, I had to get some coffee. Talks about good luck, expansion, you know, our acquisitions. Now, this could also talk about legal situations and things like that. Jupiter is about to retrograde. So again, I feel like some of you Sagittarius who may have had some things going on legally, possibly with the spouse that you may be trying to leave, and I feel like all of this goes in your favor. Jupiter going retrograde in the sign of Libra, which is one-on-one relationships. This could also be with a business partner. Is going to give you an opportunity to go back and make sure you're good legally. Maybe that's what's holding you back, Sag. Maybe that's what's holding you back. Is there some things that you need to go over, or are gonna have to, whether you know it or not, or you're gonna realize now that you got to get back and go over again and kind of rethink, replay, and maybe redo a little bit. So that you can move on. But I really feel like it's all good. In the Jupiter position, we got the Five of Coins. Okay. Okay, so Sag, we're back to talking about your money. You don't have as much money, I think, as you need to move around. And I think these legal situations that some of you Sages may be in, is the reason why. And I feel like these legal things are going on with you and a spouse, or you and a business partner. And I think that you are feeling like it's putting you in the poorhouse right now. But really, I'm still saying that it's not. I just think that it feels worse than it is. I just feel like the limitations that are coming around you have to do with your money. For some of you Sagittarius, it may have to do with your health too. But all of that is going to come to an end. For some of you Sagittarius who may be dealing with some health problems, and you may have spent some time, maybe some of you Sagittarius may have been hospitalized lately due to some health conditions. And I think you may hear some things now. You may get a solution to the problem. For some of you who may have been trying to have some sort of procedure or something, and maybe your insurance didn't cover it, I think it does now. Maybe you've been paying out of your pocket for something, and maybe you get some compensation for that now. But whatever it is, Sagittarius, I feel like, you know, it's making you feel limited in some way. It is putting a strain on your pocketbook. Let's see what's in the Saturn position. Saturn's going to talk about the things that can restrict us, the obstacles that we can have. Did I show that card, guys? I'm sure. It could talk about making us responsible adults, making us the authority on things. Let's see what's in this. Okay. We've got the Hangman reversed. Another major arcana. Yeah. Sagittarius. Again. It's all good. Where you may be feeling like your hands are tied, Sagittarius, where you may be feeling like you are in some sort of limbo and it's due to your money, all of that is about to change. All of that is about to change. Man, you got some stuff going on here, Sag. You got the Judgment card, the World card, you've got the Devil card, and you've got the Hangman. 4 major arcana. Let me go ahead. I want to pull this outcome card before I talk some more, and then I'm going to go back a little bit. The outcome is you getting rid of the excess. Again, this is about your money. This is a 2 of coins reversed. There may be some things that you have to come up off of, Sag. Looks like money. But your hands are not as tight as you think they are. Let me be honest, you're going to have some issues with money this month, okay? You are. We've had too many pentacles come up to say that for me to just sit here and say that money is not going to be an issue. You are not going to feel like you have as much money as you need, Sagittarius. And that's just real. The thing about it is, really, it's not as bad as you think it is. That's what I'm trying to say. The only thing that is holding you back from whatever moves it is that you are trying to make is your money. Venus going into retrograde is affecting the money. And let me tell you, I know I'm having that issue right now personally. You know, the way that I make my money, it's like really, really slow right now. Like last month was popping, but it's just slow. It's kind of quiet. You know, I still got things going on, but not to the magnitude that they were going on just a couple weeks ago. I can feel this entry into this Venus retrograde shadow. So this may be having an effect on all of us, Sagittarius. So don't take it personal. Everything else, your love life, you know, even if you are coming out of some situation with somebody, but, you know, I think this King of Wands that could be coming into the life of you, Sagittarius, this Aries, Leo, or other Sagittarius, and it doesn't have to be their sun sign. It could be on their moon or rising, or they could have a lot of fire in their chart. You know, all of that's all good. And I feel like that you are putting a whole lot of energy and passion. Your drive and desire is, you know, it's at optimal performance when it comes to you doing what you need to do, doing it right and completing the cycles. You may be having some issues with the cash flow right now, Sagittarius, but I really feel like that's coming to an end for you. It is not as bad as you think. It really isn't. It's not as bad as you think. Again, I feel like you have made some good decisions. In your head, you're okay. Your money may not be right, but you're okay. And that's the way I see it, Sagittarius. So, you know, I want to say, if any of you guys would like to get a personal reading from me, please feel free to contact me at tina@85thehousevibrations.net. Follow me on Facebook or Twitter at 85vibe, and I've got the links below. And thanks, guys, for tuning in again. Hope to talk to you soon.